Imagine spending years, decades even, chasing a dream, visualizing, affirming, strategizing, and yet something remains fundamentally blocked. Not because you're doing anything wrong, but because you're operating from a completely misaligned understanding of how transformation actually works. This isn't motivational poetry. This is quantum physics. And over the next 30 minutes, I'm going to reveal the experiment that completely dismantled everything I thought I knew about manifestation. An experiment so precise, so radical, that it transformed not just my results, but my entire relationship with reality. The strangest part? It happened the moment I stopped trying to make anything happen. I'm talking about a quantum leap, not the kind you read about in self-help books, not the Instagram-worthy transformation, but a fundamental shift in your energetic architecture, a recalibration so deep that your nervous system becomes the broadcast system for an entirely new timeline. In quantum physics, there's a principle called the observer effect. It states that the mere act of observation changes the behavior of what's being observed. But here's where it gets fascinating. Observation isn't just about looking. It's about your dominant state of being. Most people are observing their lack, their distance from the dream. And so, paradoxically, they keep reproducing that very distance. Imagine a version of you who has already embodied the result you're seeking, not as a visualization, not as a future projection, but as a living, breathing frequency that exists right now. What would that version of you feel like? Not think like, feel like. The double-slit experiment isn't just a physics curiosity. It's a portal into the most radical understanding of reality you'll ever encounter. Picture a pristine laboratory, sterile white walls, precision instruments humming with potential, electrons fired through two microscopic slits, expected to behave like predictable particles. But something extraordinary happens. When unobserved, the electrons create an interference pattern, behaving like waves, existing simultaneously in multiple potential positions. The moment a measurement device is introduced, something mind-shattering occurs. The electrons collapse into a single, definitive location, as if consciousness itself determines physical reality. This isn't metaphor. This is fundamental physics, revealing that your attention doesn't just witness reality, it generates it. Each electron carries infinite possibilities until the moment of observation. And here's the quantum truth most will never understand. You are that electron. Your life exists in a state of pure potential, quantum waves of possibility waiting for the precise frequency of your consciousness to collapse them into form. Most people live trapped in what physicists call classical mechanics, believing reality is fixed, predetermined, happening to them. But quantum mechanics reveals a different paradigm. You are not experiencing reality. You are generating it moment by moment through the quality of your energetic broadcast. Imagine your desired outcome existing right now in a state of pure potential, like those electrons before measurement. It's not about creating something new. It's about learning to observe differently, to generate a frequency so coherent, so undeniable, that reality has no choice but to conform to your internal state. The laboratory experiment becomes a metaphor for your lived experience. What you consistently observe, you consistently generate. Not through effort, but through a radical surrender to the field of infinite potential surrounding you at every moment. Let's dive into the quantum landscape of your most intimate struggles. Those moments where manifestation feels like an impossible dream. 3 a.m. doubt, you're awake, heart racing, that familiar spiral of financial panic consuming your nervous system. Traditional spirituality would tell you to think positive or trust the universe. But quantum reality reveals something far more precise. This 3 a.m. terror isn't a problem to solve. It's a frequency broadcasting your deepest survival fears. The electron doesn't fight its wave state. It simply exists in potential. Your panic is actually a sophisticated energy signal, telling the quantum field exactly what you don't want. 30-second frequency shift. Place your hand on your heart. Breathe not from desperation, but from curiosity. Feel the space between your thoughts, not as an escape, but as a calibration. Your nervous system is a quantum antenna. Right now it's broadcasting scarcity. What if, instead, you broadcasted neutrality? Not fake positivity, pure, spacious neutrality. Morning anxiety before opening eyes. Most people's first moments are a transmission of fear. Checking bank accounts, scrolling social media, measuring their inadequacy against external metrics. Quantum manifestation understands something revolutionary. Your first 10 minutes program your entire energetic field. 30-second frequency shift. Before opening your eyes, feel your breath. Not as a technique, but as a remembering. You are a quantum being temporarily experiencing linear time. Your anxiety is not a personal failure. It's an invitation to recalibrate your broadcast. Vision board mockery. Those carefully cut images now feel like painful reminders of what hasn't happened. Traditional manifestation says believe harder. Quantum physics reveals those images are dead energy unless they're accompanied by a frequency match. 30-second frequency shift. Look at your vision board. But instead of hoping, feel the version of you who has already integrated those experiences, not as fantasy, as a living, breathing potential waiting to collapse. Let's decode Jim Carrey's quantum manifestation, a story far deeper than a simple visualization technique. Before Hollywood recognized him, Carrey wrote himself a $10 million check, dating it 5 years in the future, placing it in his wallet as a quantum anchor. But here's the quantum truth most miss. The check wasn't a goal. It was a frequency calibration device. Carrey wasn't just hoping. He was broadcasting a precise energetic signature that the quantum field could not ignore. His practice wasn't about the money. It was about becoming the frequency of someone who effortlessly generates abundance. Most see the check as a motivational trick. Quantum physics sees it as a sophisticated entrainment mechanism. Carrey understood something revolutionary. Manifestation isn't about acquiring. It's about becoming a living broadcast so coherent that reality reorganizes around your internal state. 3 quantum practices anyone can implement. 1. Energetic check. Writing. Create a document not as wishful thinking, but as a vibrational blueprint. Feel the emotional landscape of already having what you desire, not from desperation, but from pure, neutral curiosity. 2. Frequency neutrality meditation. Spend 7 minutes daily not trying to manifest, but becoming so internally stable that your nervous system becomes a precise quantum antenna. 3. Embodied state mapping. Identify the emotional signature of your desired reality. Not just happiness, but the nuanced, subtle feeling of someone who has transcended the very problem you're experiencing. Carrey's genius wasn't positive thinking. It was quantum engineering, understanding that consciousness doesn't respond to words but to frequency. The $10 million check was a quantum technology, a precise instrument for collapsing potential into form. Before we dive deeper, here's your quantum checkpoint. Type in the comments, "I collapse timelines, I don't chase them." Say it as a code, a reminder that what collapses reality is not your desperate hoping, but the precise frequency you choose to embody in this moment. Because this moment is the manifestation, and if you can feel it now, then it's already here. Now let's unravel a transformation that will shatter everything you thought you knew about manifestation. Sarah had been the poster child of traditional manifestation. 2 years of vision boards meticulously crafted, journals filled with scripted desires, affirmations repeated with increasing desperation. 0 results. Not just slow progress, complete energetic flatline. Each morning she'd wake to the same cramped apartment, the same suffocating job, watching peers seemingly manifest miracles while she remained stuck in an invisible quantum prison. The self-blame was brutal. "What am I doing wrong?" became her internal mantra. Worthiness wasn't just questioned, it was systematically dismantled. Every visualization felt like an act of spiritual mockery. The exhaustion wasn't physical, it was a deep, cellular depletion of hope. Her quantum breakthrough wasn't dramatic, it was a quiet surrender. Not to defeat, but to a different understanding. What if manifestation wasn't about forcing, but about becoming? Day 1. Confusion. Attempting to feel her desired reality without attachment felt impossible. Her nervous system was so conditioned to struggle that neutrality seemed like a foreign language. Day 3. First subtle sign. An unexpected text from a mentor she'd long admired. Not a massive shift, but a quantum whisper. "You're calibrating." Day 5. Synchronicity erupted. The exact conversation she'd been energetically broadcasting manifested with surgical precision. Not a coincidence. A frequency match. Day 7. Complete collapse. Her entire energetic blueprint reorganized. Not through effort, but through radical presence. The 30-day transformation defied linear logic. Relationships that had been stagnant suddenly became nourishing. Money moved with unprecedented fluidity. Opportunities didn't just appear, they materialized as if they'd been waiting in a parallel reality. Physiologically, the shift was seismic. Sleep transformed from restless survival to deep, quantum regeneration. Energy wasn't just increased, it became intelligent, responsive. Her intuition shifted from a whisper to a clear, resonant signal. Imagine reality not as a singular path, but as an infinite quantum landscape where every possible version of you simultaneously exists, waiting to be selected through the precise mechanism of your attention. The many worlds interpretation isn't theoretical poetry. It's a literal map of consciousness. In this quantum multiverse, you're not choosing a future. You're selecting a timeline that already exists, waiting for your vibrational match. Schrödinger's famous thought experiment reveals the profound truth. Reality remains in superposition, all potential states coexisting, until observation collapses the wave function. That cat in the sealed box? It's simultaneously alive and dead until someone opens and observes. Your life works identically. Every potential version of your reality exists right now, vibrating at different frequencies, waiting for your consciousness to stabilize its manifestation. Practical timeline. Navigation. 1. Frequency scanning. Meditation. Close eyes. Breathe neutrally. Feel into different emotional landscapes. Notice which timeline feels most alive. Do not force. Simply observe. 2. Timeline recognition. Markers. Synchronicities increase. Decisions feel effortless. Unexplained knowings emerge. Physical reality starts shifting subtly. Resistance dissolves. 3. Quantum timeline. Jump protocol. Identify current emotional frequency. Map desired timeline's feeling state. Create zero-point neutrality. Broadcast new frequency without attachment. Allow collapse. Don't control. The radical truth. You're not one person moving through time. You're an infinite consciousness selecting concurrent realities through your moment-to-moment vibrational broadcast. Some humans live in completely different dimensional experiences, not metaphorically, but literally, because their internal frequency maintains a different quantum signature. Stabilization requires 3 key elements: nervous system coherence, emotional neutrality, precise energetic broadcasting. Let's decode the quantum truth hidden within humanity's most popular manifestation methods, not to dismiss, but to illuminate the deeper mechanism they were always pointing toward. Law of attraction, 20% truth, 80% incomplete mechanism. Its genius? Understanding that focus generates reality. Its limitation? Treating focus as mental activity instead of quantum broadcasting. Most practitioners believe thinking about wealth creates wealth. Quantum physics reveals it's not about thinking wealth, but embodying the precise frequency wealth vibrates at. When you truly quantum broadcast, your nervous system becomes the antenna, not your thoughts. Result: partial manifestations, fleeting glimpses of potential. Neville Goddard's "Feeling is the Secret," closer to quantum truth. Goddard understood something revolutionary. Manifestation happens in the feeling state, not the thinking state. He taught, live as if desired reality is already present. Quantum mechanics confirms he was describing wave function collapse through embodied state. Missing piece? He didn't explain the precise energetic mechanism of how feeling actually communicates with quantum field. Abraham Hicks' emotional scale, frequency tuning prototype, brilliant in recognizing emotions as vibrational states. Their emotional ladder, from despair to joy, is essentially a frequency calibration system. Quantum upgrade. Emotions aren't just states to climb. They're precise communication protocols with the quantum field. The scale isn't just about feeling better. It's about becoming a more coherent quantum transmitter. What connects these methods? They were quantum shamans without quantum language. Each glimpsed a fragment of the larger truth. Reality responds to your internal state, not your external actions. Quantum manifestation doesn't replace these teachings. It reveals the operating system they were always trying to describe. Quantum frequency. Calibration transmission. Begin by finding your most supportive position. Spine elongated, yet relaxed. Feet grounded. Hands open. This is not meditation. This is quantum field recalibration. Breathe in, hold, release. Notice how your nervous system begins to recognize this isn't another relaxation technique. This is precise frequency engineering. Scan your body. not as flesh, but as a quantum antenna. Where are you broadcasting contradiction? Jaw, holding tension of unmet desire. Shoulders, carrying the weight of past efforts. Stomach, storing unprocessed fear frequencies. Breathe these out, not as technique, as deliberate frequency deletion. Now, feel the timeline where your desired reality is already complete, not imagination, quantum memory. Your body doesn't know past, present, future, only frequency. Bring that frequency here, now. This feeling isn't hope, it's remembering, not future projection. Current transmission. You are not waiting, you are broadcasting. Lock this frequency into your nervous system. New baseline installing. You are not practicing manifestation. You are quantum field reorganization. Breathe, lock, collapse. Your entire molecular structure now resonates with inevitable completion. To help you deepen that integration, we've created something intentional, something precise, a transmission designed to stabilize your new frequency, anchor your expanded identity, and guide you through the real embodiment of quantum creation. It's called Quantum Identity Amplifier, and it's more than just a digital guide. It's a frequency blueprint, one that's been curated to help you collapse your next timeline with clarity, consistency, and resonance. It brings together neuroscience protocols, quantum meditation techniques, and frequency calibration tools you didn't even know you needed until now. You'll find the link in the pinned comment below. Go there not to get more information, but to amplify the integration of what's already begun inside you. Neuroscience, the quantum field's hidden operating system. 1. Reticular activating system, your brain's quantum filter. Scientific mechanism, filters. 40 million bits of information down to 40 conscious bits. Quantum parallel, acts as consciousness's quantum selector. Practical application, deliberately program your RAS by repeated exposure to desired frequency states. 2. Neuroplasticity, rewiring reality's blueprint. Scientific mechanism, brain physically restructures with repeated signals. Quantum parallel, demonstrates consciousness directly modifying physical structure. Practical application, create deliberate, repeated neural pathways matching desired timeline. 3. Heart-brain coherence, electromagnetic manifestation. Scientific mechanism, heart generates strongest electromagnetic field in body. Quantum parallel, coherent electromagnetic field communicates beyond classical physics. Practical application, use HeartMath techniques to generate precise frequency broadcasts. 4. Mirror neurons, embodiments quantum transmission. Scientific mechanism, neurons fire identically observing and performing action. Quantum parallel, demonstrates interconnected consciousness. Practical application, strategically expose yourself to embodied states you wish to manifest. Theta brainwaves, quantum access state. Scientific mechanism, 4 to 8. Hertz frequency associated with deep meditation, creativity, quantum parallel, reduced cognitive resistance, increased quantum field permeability. Practical application, train nervous system to enter theta state on command. The mystical is not magical. It's simply neuroscience we haven't yet mapped completely. 5. Quantum truth transmissions, dismantling manifestation resistance. 1. Isn't this just spiritual bypassing? Intelligent concern. You're protecting yourself from magical thinking. Valid. Quantum truth. True manifestation isn't avoiding reality, it's reorganizing fundamental reality. Spiritual bypassing pretends problems don't exist. Quantum manifestation transforms the energetic blueprint generating those problems. Example, not think positive about debt, but rewire the neurological frequency generating scarcity patterns. 2. What about actual physical action? Intelligent concern. You understand nothing happens without movement. Quantum truth. Action isn't force, it's coherent flow. Most action is actually resistance. Quantum action emerges from aligned frequency, not willpower. Actions become inspired, precise, effortless. Example, compare desperate job hunting versus being magnetically pulled toward perfect opportunity. 3. Isn't this just confirmation bias? Intelligent concern. You're protecting scientific integrity. Quantum truth. Confirmation bias assumes reality is passive. Quantum mechanics reveals observer directly influences observed reality. Your attention isn't just noticing, it's generating. Example, double slit experiment proves observation itself, changes particle behavior. 4. Why do bad things still happen? Intelligent concern, protecting against naive optimism. Quantum truth. Not all frequencies are consciously chosen. Subconscious patterns, generational imprints, collective consciousness create interference. Manifestation is deprogramming, not just programming. Example: childhood trauma creates unconscious broadcast different from conscious desire. 5. This sounds too easy, fast to be real. Intelligent concern, protecting against disappointment. Quantum truth. Ease isn't weakness, it's advanced physics. Struggle is low-frequency resistance. Quantum manifestation requires complete nervous system recalibration, not just mental technique. Example: Olympic athletes train precisely to make impossible performance look effortless. Bonus transmission. These aren't arguments against manifestation. They're invitations to more sophisticated understanding. Quantum reality doesn't compete with your intelligence. It expands it. Quantum timeline convergence. Meeting your embodied self. Close your eyes. Breathe deeply. Not as meditation, but as quantum frequency calibration. Your breath becomes a bridge between potential timelines. Imagine a door, not a metaphorical door. A quantum threshold where possibility collapses into form. Your hand touches the handle. Metallic. Cool. Real. Push. As the door opens, you see yourself, 6 months ahead. But this isn't imagination. This is quantum memory. They're wearing something that speaks of effortless power. Not expensive, intentional. A deep charcoal blazer that moves like liquid confidence. Fabric that understands your body's frequency. Shoes that ground energy, not just cover feet. Posture. Spine elongated but not rigid. No performance. Pure presence. Shoulders relaxed. Not from resignation, but from complete internal alignment. Hands open, not waiting. Broadcasting. Facial expression, not happiness. Something deeper. Quiet certainty. Eyes that have seen through illusion. Slight smile, not forced positivity, but the knowing of someone who understands reality is malleable. Energy. Magnetic. Not through effort, through complete internal congruence. The kind of presence that makes rooms shift when you enter, not demanding attention, simply undeniable. They speak, voice steady, no urgency, pure transmission. Stop trying to figure out how. Your nervous system already knows. The moment you trust the frequency more than the strategy, everything changes. Your biggest mistake? Thinking this was about achieving something instead of becoming something. They place a hand on your shoulder, not physical, energetic. A download begins. Mistakes to avoid, frequencies to trust, patterns to release. The timeline you want isn't something you chase. It's something you embody so completely that reality has no choice but to reorganize around you. As they speak, you feel a recalibration, not in your head, in your cells, your DNA, your quantum blueprint. When you open your eyes, you're not the same. The boundary between imagination and reality has intentionally blurred. You've just received a quantum transmission from your most aligned self. Quantum identity transmission. The 8-minute collapse of separation. Stage 1. I want to be. Energetic signature. Longing, separation, external desire. Common block. Believing transformation happens to you. Breakthrough. Recognize want is a frequency of perpetual waiting. Declaration. I want to be someone who moves through life with absolute certainty. Quantum insight. Wanting creates an energetic barrier between you and the experience. Stage 2. I'm becoming. Energetic signature. Effortful transformation. Self-improvement mindset. Common block. Believing change requires constant struggle. Breakthrough. Becoming is already happening. Stop resisting. Declaration. I'm becoming someone who trusts their internal guidance completely. Quantum insight. Becoming implies future. True transformation happens now. Stage 3. I'm choosing. Energetic signature. Decisive moment. Radical responsibility. Common block. Believing choice is mental, not vibrational. Breakthrough. Choice is a nervous system reset, not a thought. Declaration. I'm choosing to align my entire being with my most expansive timeline. Quantum insight. Choice collapses potential into preferred reality. Stage 4. I'm practicing. Energetic signature. Intentional cultivation. Disciplined approach. Common block. Believing transformation requires external technique. Breakthrough. Practice is embodiment, not performance. Declaration. I'm practicing total presence, where my internal state determines external reality. Quantum insight. Practice is continuous recalibration, not repetition. Stage 5. I am. Energetic signature. Complete embodiment. Quantum collapse. Common block. Believing identity is fixed. Breakthrough. Identity is a frequency you broadcast, not a story you tell. Declaration. I am the vibrational blueprint of my most aligned self. I am precision. I am inevitability. I am the quantum field experiencing itself through this form. Quantum insight. I am is the most powerful frequency generator. Total identification without resistance. Stage 6. I've always been. Energetic signature. Remembering. Timeless essence. Common block. Believing transformation is linear. Breakthrough. Your expanded self exists simultaneously across all timelines. Declaration. I've always been this powerful. I've always known this truth. I've always been capable of collapsing realities with my frequency. Quantum insight. Time is non-linear. Your future self is guiding your present moment. Stage 7. Silence energetic. Signature. Pure potential. Quantum pause. Purpose. Allow nervous system to integrate transmission. No declaration. Pure frequency holding. Final transmission. The moment you stop performing identity and start broadcasting it, reality has no choice but to reorganize around your frequency. And if this transmission resonated with you, if you felt the frequency shift as you listened, subscribe to this channel. Because we're not here to give you more content. We're here to collapse timelines with you. Every video is a frequency recalibration, not a lesson. Turn on notifications, not so you don't miss a video, but so you don't miss the exact transmission your nervous system needs next. And leave a like, not for the algorithm, but as an energetic signature that says, I'm choosing coherence over consumption. 7-Day Quantum Reset Protocol. Precision Timeline Collapse Day. 1. Frequency Mapping Time. 6:06:20 a.m. Protocol. Quantum Baseline Assessment. Neurological Scan. Record Current Emotional Baseline. Journal. Prompt. Where am I experiencing the most energetic resistance? Resistance checkpoint. Notice where body contracts when imagining desired timeline. Success. Marker. Complete emotional transparency without judgment. Frequency. Calibration. 3-breath quantum alignment technique. Warning. 70% of participants discover their primary frequency. Blocker is unresolved ancestral pattern. Day 2. Shadow integration time. 9:30 p.m. Protocol. Contradiction. Dissolution. Identify top 3 self-sabotage patterns. Somatic release meditation. Energetic boundary reconstruction. Journal prompt. What unconscious story am I protecting? Breakthrough technique. Speak directly to internal resistance. Quantum insight. Shadows are not enemies. They're unprocessed potential waiting to be. Integrated Day 3. Baseline reprogramming. Time 7:40 p.m. Protocol. Embodiment installation. Nervous system recalibration meditation. Cellular memory rewrite. Quantum anchoring visualization. Movement protocol. Specific somatic exercises to encode new frequency. Success checkpoint. Body feels simultaneously relaxed and activated. Critical note. Embodiment is not mental. It's a full nervous system broadcast. Day 4. Coherence testing. Protocol. Reality synchronization checks. Micro-manifestation tracking. Synchronicity journal. Intuition amplification exercises. Resistance detection protocol. Quantum marker. Increased unexpected alignments. Reduced effortful planning. Day 5. Signal amplification protocol. Frequency elevation. Advanced quantum meditation. Energetic signal strengthening. Vibrational match calibration. Breakthrough. Transform desire into inevitable frequency. Warning. Most participants experience significant timeline acceleration. Day 6. Timeline commitment protocol. Quantum lock ceremony. Complete nervous system declaration. Energetic boundary reinforcement. Ceremonial timeline selection. Quantum entanglement meditation. Breakthrough technique. Move from wanting to being. Day 7. First collapse protocol. Manifestation confirmation. complete sensory timeline embodiment, quantum integration meditation, reality synchronization check, celebration of neurological rewire, quantum guarantee, if followed with 90% precision, timeline collapse becomes statistically inevitable, quantum corporate metamorphosis, the frequency of true success. Imagine a corner office, panoramic city view, mahogany desk, $500,000 annual salary. From the outside, absolute perfection. From the inside, a silent scream. This was my reality. External metrics of success screaming loudly while my internal system whispered total exhaustion. Every achievement felt like another layer of invisible prison. Panic attacks became my secret language. Three-piece Tom Ford suits hiding a nervous system running perpetual survival code. Luxury watch tracking time I never truly experienced. Mercedes in the parking lot, a metal representation of achievement that felt hollow. Breaking point, November 17th, 3:42 a.m. Heart racing, chest tight. Sudden realization, I was manifesting from fear, not frequency. Quantum shift protocol, external performance, 100% maintained. Internal frequency, complete recalibration. Manifestation mechanism, shift from doing to being. First transformation layer, nervous system rewire, replaced morning strategy meetings with quantum alignment meditation, transformed hustle into intuitive flow, redesigned productivity from effort to energetic transmission, frequency markers, reduced work hours 40%, increased income 82%, eliminated stress-based decision-making, activated intuitive business intelligence. The paradox, when you stop performing success and start broadcasting success frequency, reality reorganizes around your new baseline. Quantum business intelligence is not about working harder. It's about becoming an energetic match for the outcome before the outcome arrives. Breakthrough. Insight. Your business is not something you do. It's a living transmission of your internal state. Would you be interested in understanding how to transform your professional reality without changing a single external circumstance? Quantum guarantee. Precise frequency alignment creates inevitable manifestation. Your nervous system doesn't know how to do anything else. The next transmission awaits those ready to collapse the old paradigm of achievement. Quantum timing, the frequency of inevitability. Most spiritual teachings get divine timing catastrophically wrong. It's not the universe deciding. It's your nervous system stabilizing. The intention manifestation gap, a quantum precision measurement. Every moment you say, "not yet," is actually a vibrational wobble, a precise signal of internal contradiction. Imagine your desired reality as a radio frequency. Waiting is not passive, it's active miscalibration. 3 quantum timing archetypes. 1. Signal interference. Desire present, but contradictory frequencies blocking. Clean signal. Intention and embodiment in total coherence. 3. Wrong timeline. Pursuing outcome incompatible with your core frequency. Surrender mechanism. Why stopping actually accelerates. When you stop trying to make something happen, you remove the energetic resistance. Surrender is not weakness. It's advanced quantum engineering. Precision markers of true alignment. No emotional charge around outcome. Complete internal neutrality. Nervous system feels expansive, not contracted. Intuitive clarity replaces mental strategizing. The paradox of persistence. When to hold versus when to pivot. Persist when. Internal frequency feels clear and expansive. Pivot when. Continuous effort creates contraction. Quantum truth. Your timeline doesn't happen to you. It happens through you. Every delay is a recalibration opportunity. Every waiting period is a frequency refinement zone. Most people interpret quantum mechanics as mystical. It's actually neurological precision. Your nervous system is a quantum computer constantly broadcasting potential realities. The moment your internal state becomes a match, collapse is inevitable. Not because the universe decides, because physics has no alternative. Quantum metaphors, the poetry of physics. 1. Tuning fork. Resonance as reality architecture. Imagine a tuning fork struck against reality's edge. Pure vibration, no resistance. In physics, when one fork vibrates, another identical fork begins to oscillate, not through effort, but through pure resonance. Your consciousness operates identically. Resonance principles. Sympathetic vibration requires no force. Matching frequency creates spontaneous transmission. Coherence is more powerful than intention. Spiritual translation. You are not attracting your reality. You are broadcasting a frequency so pure that reality has no alternative but to organize around your signal. Not manifestation. Transmission. Nervous system as quantum instrument. Calibrate frequency, not desire. Eliminate internal noise. Become the pure tone. 2. Hologram. Fractal consciousness projection. In holographic physics, every fragment contains the entire image. Cut a holographic plate. Each piece still reveals the complete picture. Your consciousness operates identically. Holographic mechanics. Whole contains part. Part contains whole. Change one frequency. Transform entire field consciousness as laser interference. Your internal state projects interference patterns. Reality is not external. It's a continuous projection of your most dominant frequency. 3. Quantum entanglement. Instantaneous connection. Entangled particles communicate faster than light. Distance becomes irrelevant. Separation is illusion. Your desired reality is already entangled with you. Entanglement. Principles. Connection transcends physical limitations. Alignment replaces attraction. Desire is not a future state. It's a present frequency quantum guarantee. When your internal state becomes a pure transmission, reality has no alternative but to reorganize around your signal. The universe doesn't respond to your words. It responds to your frequency. The quantum radio parable. Transmission versus effort. 2 operators. 1 quantum radio. Infinite potential. Operator Marcus the analyzer. Spends hours dissecting radio mechanics, reads every manual multiple times, asks, why isn't this working? Mental energy. 90% analysis, 10% reception. Frequency, confusion, desperation. Internal broadcast. Something must be wrong. Operator Elena, the transmitter. Understands radio as living system. Knows tuning is state, not technique. Sits quietly, already feeling received signal. Mental energy. 10% observation, 90% alignment. Frequency, calm. Certainty, internal broadcast. This is already here. 30-day quantum experiment results. Marcus's journey. Week 1-2, increasing frustration. Week 3, partial breakthrough. Week 4, exhaustion, near abandonment. Elena's journey. Week 1-2, subtle shifts, quiet downloads. Week 3, significant timeline collapses. Week 4, effortless manifestation. Quantum radio, decoding, radio, consciousness field, tuning, nervous system calibration, signal, potential timeline, noise, internal contradiction. 5. Precise tuning techniques. 1. Emotional neutrality protocol. 2. Embodied frequency meditation. 3. Quantum coherence breathing. 4. Identity signature recalibration. 5. Surrender transmission technique. Marcus's breakthrough moment. Realizes, I was trying to control the radio instead of becoming the signal. Deeper metaphysical translation. Manifestation is not about requesting. It's about matching, not about wanting, about being. The universe doesn't hear your words. It feels your frequency. Would you be willing to stop asking and start transmitting? Breath, the quantum collapse mechanism. Breathing is not a biological function. It's a continuous quantum manifestation event happening 20,000 times daily. Each breath, a microscopic universe collapsing potential into form. Quantum breath mechanics. Potential, particle, energy. Potential breath is manifestation architecture. Wave function, inhale, particle collapse, oxygen absorption, energy transfer, cellular conversion, release, CO2 exhalation, cross-cultural breath wisdom. Hebrew, ruach. Sanskrit, prana. Chinese, qi. Greek, pneuma. Quantum breathwork. Protocols. 1. Timeline, shift, breath. 4 counts, inhale. 7 counts, hold. 8 counts, exhale. 2. Frequency calibration sequence. Coherent breathing, nervous system entrainment, internal state reset, physiological quantum markers, vagus nerve activation, parasympathetic dominance, electromagnetic heart field recalibration. Breath is not something you do. Breath is something that happens through you. A continuous quantum transmission of consciousness becoming form. Can you feel reality reshaping with each breath? Parallel timelines. The quantum reality split. Misaligned timeline. You wake before the alarm, heart already racing. Anxiety floods your system before consciousness fully arrives. Phone in hand immediately. Scrolling social media. Comparing your behind scenes to everyone's highlight reel. Notifications ping like small warfare. Emails demanding. Messages judging. News cycles triggering cellular panic. Cortisol surges. Nervous system broadcasts. Survival mode activated. You're already behind before the day begins. Coffee becomes a desperate chemical intervention, not nourishment. Breakfast, forgotten. Hydration, optional. Your body is a battlefield, not a vessel. Work feels like constant performance. Each interaction a potential threat. Meetings drain you. Conversations become negotiations. Creativity dies in constant defensive posturing. You're not living, you're defending. Constantly calculating, constantly contracting. By afternoon, you're exhausted, not from doing, but from resisting, from fighting an invisible war against your own potential. Scrolling becomes numbing. Social media, a digital anesthetic. Your dreams, postponed. Your potential, contracted. Your energy, leaking everywhere. Evening arrives like a punishment, collapsed onto couch, takeout, Netflix, scroll, repeat. Your body knows only survival. Your spirit, dormant, waiting. Aligned timeline. You wake naturally. Breath first. Body knows safety before mind knows anything. Nervous system broadcasts. We are supported. Gentle stretch. No phone. Presence is your first practice. Meditation isn't a task. It's remembering. Breath flows like invitation. Cellular intelligence knows exactly how to harmonize. Breakfast becomes a ritual of nourishment, not fuel. Each bite, communion. Each sip, restoration. Work transforms into creative transmission. Meetings are collaborations. Conversations are explorations. Your presence doesn't defend, it generates. Creativity flows like water. Opportunities appear without chasing. Right people magnetize toward your frequency. Money isn't something pursued. It's a natural result of aligned transmission. Synchronicities become your language. Time expands. What used to take months now arrives in moments, not through effort, but through coherence. By evening, you're not exhausted. You're energized. Not from doing, but from being. Gratitude isn't a practice, it's your default state. Your body knows it's not just surviving, it's thriving. The quantum truth. Same person, same 24 hours, different frequency, different reality. Which transmission will you choose to broadcast? Quantum manifestation. The childhood frequency disruption. Childhood. Quantum operating system. Theta brainwave dominance. Pure frequency transmission. Zero energetic contradiction. Instant manifestation mechanism. Belief without logical interference manifestation anatomy of a child. Wants bicycle. Sees. Believes. Receives. No internal dialogue. Am I worthy? No calculation. How will this happen? Pure vibrational alignment. Reality bends to imagination. Adult frequency interruption points. 1. Educational conditioning. School. Logic. Override system. Creativity. Measured, not celebrated. Imagination systematically diminished. Reward structures. Compliance. Creativity. 2. Societal trauma mechanisms. Repeated rejection experiences. Economic scarcity programming. Collective belief. Struggle is noble. Psychological defense mechanisms. Activate. 3. Neurological transformation. Beta brainwave dominance. Analytical mind becomes gatekeeper. Probability replaces possibility. Doubt becomes default operating system. Quantum gateway restoration. Protocols. Neuroplastic reprogramming. Theta state training. Meditation without expectation. Imagination. Rehabilitation. Belief reconstruction. Practical quantum reintegration. Morning theta. Activation practices. Breathwork frequency. Calibration. Inner child dialogue techniques. Nervous system. Coherence training. The profound revelation. Your manifestation ability was never lost. It was simply waiting for you to remember how to access the frequency that was always present. Quantum prophecy. 30-day frequency transmission. Prophecy. Mechanism. Probability is not prediction. It's frequency collapse. When you stabilize a vibrational state, potential timelines become inevitable. Prophecy. Protocol. Quantum forecasting. 7 precise transmissions. 1. 2-hour quantum contact mechanism. Unresolved relational frequencies seek completion. Within 72 hours of frequency stabilization, a past connection will emerge with a precise opportunity, not random. Vibrational completion. Recognition signs. Unexpected message. Synchronistic context. Opportunity feels too aligned. Action. Protocol. Receive without explanation. Do not overanalyze. Allow quantum completion. Week 2. Forgotten abundance mechanism. Dormant financial frequencies activate when internal scarcity programming collapses. Unexpected money arrives from forgotten source. Probability vectors. Insurance refund. Old investment matures. Overlooked compensation recognition signs. Sudden unexpected deposit. Money feels surprising. No logical explanation. Action protocol. Accept without guilt. Do not explain. Allow abundance. 3. Day 21. Closed door reopening mechanism. Quantum timelines have non-linear resolution. Opportunities previously blocked will spontaneously realign. Probability, triggers, relationship restoration, professional opportunity, blocked pathway suddenly clearing recognition signs, unexpected communication, sudden systemic shift, intuitive knowing, action, protocol, move without hesitation, trust quantum timing, do not reconstruct old narrative. 4. Relational quantum leap mechanism. Your internal coherence reorganizes external relationship fields. A key relationship will transform without direct intervention. Probability vectors, sudden understanding, energetic forgiveness, spontaneous healing, recognition, signs, unexpected emotional clarity, communication feels effortless, no previous struggle, action protocol, receive transformation, do not analyze, allow quantum recalibration. 5. Career frequency collapse. Mechanism. Professional identity is vibrational, not circumstantial. Unexpected professional alignment occurs. Probability. Triggers. Synchronistic introduction. Opportunity beyond current perception. Skill recognition. Recognition. Signs. Conversation feels destined. Opportunity appears impossible. Intuitive resonance. Action protocol. Trust quantum guidance. Do not compare. Allow unprecedented emergence. 6. Physical healing transmission mechanism. Body is quantum field, not mechanical system. Spontaneous healing occurs through frequency alignment. Probability vectors. Symptom dissolution. Unexpected wellness. Cellular recalibration. Recognition signs. Sudden energy shift. Unexplained improvement. Intuitive body wisdom. Action. Protocol. Trust quantum intelligence. Do not medicalize. Allow regeneration. 7. Timeline quantum jump mechanism. Consciousness is not local. Entire reality structure can spontaneously reorganize. Probability triggers. Massive systemic shift. Reality feels different. Unprecedented possibility. Recognition. Signs. Synchronicities accelerate. Previous limitations dissolve. Reality feels malleable. Action protocol. Receive without resistance. Do not explain. Allow quantum emergence documentation. Protocol. Screenshot. Document. Verify. Quantum prophecy is not mysticism. It's physics waiting to be recognized. Which timeline will you choose to broadcast? So here we are. Not at an ending, but at a quantum threshold. Everything we've explored isn't just information. It's a transmission. A precise recalibration of how reality actually responds to your internal broadcast. You've just learned that manifestation isn't something you do. It's something you embody. We've created something to continue this frequency integration. It's called the Quantum Identity Shift Guide, but it's more than a PDF. It's a precise energetic blueprint designed to stabilize the quantum leap we've activated together. Inside, you'll find not just practices, but frequency codes that will help you maintain the vibrational coherence we've just unlocked. Practical quantum technologies that transform theory into lived experience. If this transmission resonated, if you felt something shift beneath the words, subscribe to this channel, but not for more content. Subscribe because we're collapsing timelines together. Every video is a frequency recalibration, not just another lesson. Hit that like button not as an algorithm hack, but as an energetic signature that says, I'm choosing coherence over consumption. And in the comments, Declare your quantum commitment. Type, I embody change, I don't force it. The collapse moment doesn't wait, and neither does the version of you who's already living your desired reality. This isn't motivation. This is physics. This is your nervous system remembering its quantum nature. And the moment you stabilize this frequency, everything changes. Not gradually, but completely. You're not starting a journey. You're continuing a shift that's already in motion. Welcome home.